Okay. So now I know I was a little bit of a reader as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So are there any books, Becca, to you that stand out as things you read as a child that are like big for you still? Or
Yeah, I have two things I'll say. So, firstly, I think I've briefly mentioned this on the pod before, but in elementary school, between third and fourth grade, I read all of the Twilight books. And actually, in fourth grade, my teacher reprimanded my mother for allowing me to read Breaking Dawn because they have sex in the last book.
yeah, they do.
Yeah. And so my teacher was like, well, she can read that, but she can't bring it into school. So, whatever. I couldn't bring Breaking Dawn into school in case someone opened the book and started to read it. Anyway, that was very formative in everything. I was so team Edward. It was crazy. Those movies also were crazy for me.
Where are the what in what relation were you reading the books to like the movies coming out?
So by the time I finished the first two books, then the movie came out. And I was
Oh.
already obsessed. So then I was able to finish the books and then see all the movies as they came out. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy for me. But also it had been enough time from the time I read the last book to seeing the last movie that I had forgot the big twist, which is that like Alice, there's like a big fight scene where a lot of people die and then it's not real because Alice has just been showing it as the future. And I was like, oh, I forgot that happened. So it was awesome. Yeah. And
I've
then
never seen the
also,
Twilight movies.
what? Oh my God, Quinn, you need to do that during the fall time.
we we like it's interesting to me through the course of this how like we don't how like despite how
Yeah.
similar we are and like we have very similar tastes, I feel like we just
Yeah.
like this.
I know, seriously. Wow, crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
Different equation, same result.
We get there somehow.
Yeah.
And
Life
then
finds a way.
it's not technically a book, but I have to bring up fan fiction, which I was reading
Oh.
all the time,
It's
especially,
literature.
yeah, it is. Wattpad was huge between me and my friends. Also I had friends that would write their own stuff. It was crazy. And I've been begging Lauren to try and find her old Wattpad account because she wrote stuff and published it. And I just need to read what she wrote because we were friends then. But yeah. It was mostly, I would mostly read stuff about One Direction.
So you never wrote?
No.
Mm.
Mm-mm. I felt like, I don't know. I felt like I couldn't do, I just was too lazy, I think, to do that.
You're like, I couldn't do justice to the form.
Exactly. But yeah, it was honestly crazy. I loved reading about Harry Styles. I never read the after books, which are what those movies are about. But maybe I'll have to someday.
Reject
But yeah.
modernity, embrace tradition.
Exactly. What books were formative to you?
Something you said. Well, first of all, my favorite book when I was a child was Matilda
Okay.
by Roald Dahl. I went through like a huge like Roald Dahl was like my favorite author as a child. Like
He
I
wrote James and the
love
Giant Peach, right?
what? Yes. And
Okay,
Willy
yeah.
Wonka,
Okay.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Its proper name.
Sick.
But I
Yeah.
read like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I never read James and the Giant Peach actually, but I read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Glass Elevator, which was the sequel book to that.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a sequel.
I
I don't
didn't know
remember what
that.
happens in it, but and then Fantastic Mr. Fox
Oh,
and Matilda, but like Matilda, I think uh, Matilda, like the Harry Styles song is based off of Matilda Wormwood.
really?
like he took inspiration from it because like, well, it's based off somebody he knows in real life apparently, but it's like
Mm.
he uses Matilda because she goes through the same things.
Aw.
Because like she's this like whiz kid who has like an abusive family basically.
Aw.
And yeah. Um and so yeah, but it was yeah, I remember my teacher reading it to us in the first grade, like as like a book she like read aloud to us.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like read it a couple times as like an actual person who could like read chapter books. But yeah, maybe I should read those again. That would be like a fun, that'd be
That
kind
would
of
be
fun as an
fun.
adult to go
I've
back
been
and like,
I- I've been thinking about reading. I remember I loved this book as a kid. Have you ever read the Westinghouse?
no.
It's a great little mystery book,
Mm-hmm.
and I've heard I was talking to someone recently, and apparently it holds up.
Mm.
So I think we should go back and read our childhood books.
That's a genre I want to get back into, like mystery.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I haven't read any good like mysteries as an adult.
Have you read Agatha Christie stuff?
No, I do have, and then there were none. Because I think
Okay.
it was in one of my classes in like the sixth grade, we watched like 10 Little Indians,
Okay.
which is the movie based off, and then there were none. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Murder on the Orient Express.
Classic.
I have listened to Murder on the Stupid Bitch Express, the InfoWars podcast, which
Fair enough.
is perhaps a better document. And so yeah. Also, I should mention them, but like the Harry Potter books were obviously really big.
Mm-hmm.
And for me especially. Did you ever read them?
No.
Yeah. You don't strike me as the type, but
I thought okay.
no, not in like the least shady way. In like the least, it probably sounded like rude, but like I feel like I would have known this about you by now.
Well, I thought about reading them. I was going to read them over one of my winter breaks in college, and then I just never did it. Now I just don't
It's
know.
completely ruined. Like it's like ruined everything about it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know, cause yeah. So I started reading them in like third grade. Again, the same people who recommended Glee to me, my mom's
Recommended
clients.
Harry Potter.
They
Wow.
well, yeah, because they had all the books.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the mom is like a huge reader.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had all the books, and their daughter was like 5 years older than me and stuff. And so I'm sure she had read them too. And so yeah, I read the books. I read them like pretty quick too. Because they were like, I read them in like the fourth grade,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like harder books. Like especially for
Yeah.
like that age kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were like so long, but or they
Yeah.
got long. Um, and so yeah, but I started reading them in like December. I forget when I started reading them, but I read them like really fast. And then my mom and I went to Harry Potter World.
Ooh,
It was crazy. I've been to Harry Potter
I've
World
been
twice
there.
in Orlando.
Oh, I've only been
And can I
once.
tell
It was
you,
fun.
the first time I went, I did dress up and I did get selected for the wand show.
Yes.
It was one of my
Nice.
dreams of life. It was one of my dreams of life to do it.
Do you still
Because
have
of
your
course,
wand?
I still have a version of it. My brother broke it. My brother broke the original wand.
No.
And my original wand was before they did the stupid shit with, well, it's not stupid, it's kind of cool, but like you can go around the park, and if you buy a wand now, they all have little things in them, and you can like swish it. Did you go while this was a thing?
No.
So they have little things in the wand now where you can like swish it in front of things in a certain way, and it's like you do a spell.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
cool.
But now all the wands are kind of ugly because they're all thicker, and now they have like a little like black thing at the end of them
Oh, so it can do that.
that like cuts off like the magic of it a little bit.
Mm.
Oh, and also I would order, okay, I was really into Harry Potter. I would order like replica wands and like props from like online.
Yeah.
I had so
Yeah.
many. I had so many. I still have some of them, I believe.
Mm.
Yeah, I was more into it than I like to admit, especially now because like the authors are raging turf. Um,
Yeah.
and but I did watch my last winter break. I watched almost all the movies.
I've seen the movies.
So good, like so
They are good.
good. And, like I
They
have to
are
say,
good.
so good.
Yeah.
Like like the tale that woman spun, she was doing it. She was doing it. And I
We'll
like
give
to
her
believe
those
something has
props.
changed. I like to believe something has changed within her. Something is not the same.
Yeah, something evil.
Yeah, like yeah. It was
What
really weird because and Pottermore, like when
I was gonna
Pottermore
say,
came out.
what house are you in?
What house do you think I'm in?
Ravenclaw,
No.
Gryffindor,
No.
Hufflepuff?
No.
You're a Slytherin?
I am, yeah.
How so?
Uh Ambition, I think.
Okay.
Like shrewdness,
Mm.
like ambition. Yeah. I remember it was the first Pottermore quiz I ever took, and I was really so mad I made a different account. And then I got Hufflepuff, and then I was like, maybe I should just stick to Slytherin.
I've gotten, I think, like every result on Pottermore. But
Yeah, depends on
people,
the day.
I don't know what I am. You may have to prescribe me a house.
I think you might also be a Slytherin, Becca.
Really?
I think you're way too cool to be in any of the other houses.
So interesting. Thank you.
Because like you're not like I don't want to say like you're not like the defining characteristics. Like you're not smart, you're not brave.
Thank you.
You're not like intellectual in the way like Ravenclaw. Let's be honest, Ravenclaw is the most boring house.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like it doesn't like contribute to the story a lot. Like it's just kind of there.
Okay.
Like the
enough.
only significant Ravenclaw character is Luna Lovegood, and like she's not really that significant of the plot. But
But
like
isn't
all
she
the
haunted?
yes.
Something I am as well. Something to think
you are
about.
very Luna Lovegood.
Yeah.
But like Gryffindor was obviously Harry's house. That's where like all the main characters are.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're the most annoying. But Hufflepuff, like Cedric Diggory, who's like a huge part of the series.
Yes.
And then Slytherin is like the antagonist and stuff. And so yeah, but now it's like also Harry Potter is just so annoying. Like whenever anybody like tries to make any reference to like what's your Harry Potter, like you asking me on the podcast is fine, but like whenever somebody like asks me in real life, like and like no, because like there's a way in which like you said it as like an interest thing, but people are like, what's your Harry Potter house like in real life? And I'm just like,
It is it's very millennial.
it has the stench of millennialism.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to tell me the other day.
Oh no.
Somebody fully our age was like, I'm a like millennial cusp. And I'm like, so what do you mean by that? And she's like, I just don't identify with Gen Z at all. And I'm like, it's not an identity thing. It's quite
It's
literally when
literally,
you were born.
yeah,
And we were simply not born. Like she's literally
in the
my
millennial
age.
time frame.
We were
Yeah.
not born in the millennial. We are older Gen Z people. And that's just the way, like you can't pick and choose. Like I can't say I'm like a boomer. Like what?
Yeah.
No. like I can't just identify as a baby boomer.
Oh my God.
I can't identify as a
Literally.
member of the silent generation. Like no. Like it's like you just are what you are.
Yeah. And you can't be upset about that.
Yeah.
Well, you
And
can,
so
but you can't
yeah.
rebuke it.
Yeah. And so
Interesting.
Harry Potter was a part of it. And then my favorite book of all time, probably still, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, was a huge book for me. I read that in like 5th or 6th grade. Ooh.
Yeah. So good.
Oh my God. I reread it as a freshman in college on my first like winter break home from college, which for me was a very fraught time.
Mm-hmm.
And like it like held up. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holds up so good. And the movie, so amazing.
The movie's great.
Movie's great. It was so fun reading it also as somebody who like then like went to Pittsburgh and stuff.
I know. Did you have your bridge moment hanging
No,
out the
I
top
should
of
do
the
that before I
car?
move though.
Yeah, you should.
I need to find somebody with a pickup truck.
Just get an Uber and be like, yeah, so I don't have any
Yeah, an Uber driver would
destination.
let me do that. Yeah.
I just need to experience this.
Yeah, I watched the movie recently actually. I think I watched the movie in
Me
May.
too, kinda.
Yeah. because I need to
It's
feel
so
something.
sad.
Yeah,
So
it's
sad.
oh my God. Want to talk about a twist?
Yeah.
Want to talk about a twist? I won't talk about it here, but oh my goodness. No, and the casting of the movie, now it's becoming like a movie thing, but like no, Paul Rudd as Logan Lerman's like
Yeah.
apprentice or like apprentice, I don't know what mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, amazing guy. Also, Logan Lerman, run him as Oscar for that.
And
Like
honestly,
such an amazing performance. And he must
so
have been
good.
what? How old was he when he did that?
Young. No,
Like
he is so talented. And I
yeah,
feel like he's
like
never gotten the recognition he
okay, the movie
deserves.
came out in 2012. How old does that make Logan Lerman?
Which
Logan
oh my God,
Lerman
10
is
years old.
he was 20,
Oh my God. Yeah,
which
no, like
oh my God. No. No, it's such an amazing performance. Like it's crazy.
he's so good in it.
Also, Ezra Miller.
Whose whereabouts are still unknown.
Ezra
To my
Miller of
knowledge.
it all.
Did you see
Did
that?
you see the tweet where it's like, I'm dropping off Ezra Miller, an unmarked man at the Supreme Court?
That is about what I was gonna say that right
Yes.
then. Did you see?
Oh my God. No,
Perfect.
Ezra Miller discourse is so funny.
It's terrifying and I'm scared, but also yeah, it's
No, the
hilarious.
other tweet that was like Ezra Miller running around terrorizing Hawaii like some kind of non-binary Stitch. A kids movie that actually I do remember being affected by, Lilo and Stitch.
So good.
Also, Lilo and Stitch had a like show.
Yes, they did with about all the monsters and
I used to
stuff.
watch that every day when I came home from kindergarten, I remember.
Aw.
But yeah, Perks
Were
being
you
Wallflower. I can't even
something
talk
that's
about it.
also interesting? I just have
Mhm.
to ask you, were you a morning or afternoon kindergartner?
Because I literally was just thinking about that. I forget if my school did that, but I was a morning. I was a morning kindergartner.
And I think that makes sense. I was afternoon. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't know if my school did that or if just everybody came in the morning.
Oh,
No, I think
okay.
it was
Mine
just
was definitely
everybody came in.
split.
I think it was just everyone came in the morning because then I believe it was like the year after, or maybe 2 years after me, they went to full days for the kindergartners.
Oh my God. Why?
I don't know.
You can only learn so much when you're that young.
Yeah. And I remember being like, like I made out early.
Got him.
I got
Wow.
y'all. I got y'all.
Crazy. Wow.
Yeah.